We'll go right into chapter 19. It's good to see you. It's been a while since I've been here, so you've had a vacation, as have I. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. I'm doing a little study on that verse, and we're going to hear it from a different translation because they didn't use servant, they used the word slave. I'm getting off the matter, but some of these, okay. 11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Prudent. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways, and they say his, they're talking about the ways of the Most High, shall die. He that pitieth, he that hath pity upon the poor, lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Joseph, he did that. A man of great wealth shall suffer, a man of great wrath shall suffer punishment. A man of great wrath, you got a temper? A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment. For if thou deliver him, yet thou must do it again. Any of you fellas got buddies that ready to fight at the drop of a hat? And sometimes if you're not there, you wonder what will happen. You know, fighting is not the answer. But we'll read on a little further. I wouldn't totally throw it out, but we got to work on our temper. We really do, because if we get angry enough and we want to strike somebody, it's saying we're going to suffer punishment. And most of us, we don't like punishment. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. That when you get gray hair, it'll be good for you. Wisdom is there to help you in your golden years. I hope some money is there with it. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. The desire of a man is his kindness. Wow. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. I'm going to read that again. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Now that's pretty deep for King James. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. We'll hear that a little later too. Smite a scorner. Now you know what smite is. That means punch or hit. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware. Now, that's in my Bible, and I know that's in your Bible. And reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. He that wasteth his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. Two more. An ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes. What is stripes? For the back of fools. Somebody getting hit again. Somebody's getting hit again. Smite a scorner, and stripes, or a good strap on the back of a fool. Let's hear it out of another translation. Better to be poor and live one's life uprightly than engage in crooked speech, for such a one is a fool. Now, I'm trying to get a better understanding of the message and the messages that are being conveyed in the scriptures. And they've been tampered with. They've been tampered with. And and I'm going to stay on point, but better to be poor and live one's life uprightly. Was that for everybody, or was that for certain people? Yeah, but you also have to consider who was doing the teaching. I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to start a new movement. I'm not interested in that. But more and more and more questions. The more you read, the more questions you have. And not everybody. Not everybody had your best interests at heart. Okay. To act without knowledge, listen to this. To act without knowing how you function is not good. Church people, to act without knowing how you function is not good. And listen at this, please. And if you rush ahead, you will miss your goal. Stop being led mostly by your emotions. Please. It's gotten a lot of us in a pickle today. Allow wisdom to lead, not how you feel. Because our feelings, yes, they're real, but they're fleeting. You know, the good thing is nobody stays mad all the time. Right now, though, in this nation, we seem to want to be offended by everything. And we get offended because somebody else is offended. It's not even any of our business, but we're going to put our opinion on that. I'm going to get on my I don't have a Facebook page, but get on my Facebook page. Yeah, that wasn't right. They shouldn't have done that. You know, hey, it's not my business. And a lot of times we're offended by something and you don't even like the person that got offended. But because somebody else want to protest and fuss and let me join in, let me be a part. And people are in such a desire to be a part of something. Now everybody want to go to a protest. What we protest? I don't know, but I'm going to throw a brick. What is wrong with us? I was telling you a few weeks back, some celebrity gave one of their kids something. And I mean, people had all kind of opinions and she shouldn't have done that. It didn't cost you anything. Why are you trying to tell them how to raise, how they want to bless their kids or whatever? How How are you doing with yours? Just nuts. And that celebrity got on there and she told him a thing or two, as most of them do. In fact, those of you that like sports, you know, you can't just say anything to these athletes nowadays because they're going to answer you back. Especially the basketball players, but the football players too. And don't let the football players catch you. You know, because see, no, seriously, a lot of us talk a big stuff online. But the stuff you say online, you won't say to that person's face. See, it's a whole different, listen, the best way to work a situation out is face to face. Because see, a lot of people talk tough on the phone or send you a text, and what is it, when you're really laying somebody out, you put it in all capital letters. Oh, I'm tough. How about face to face with nothing but you and me and some air? How tough are you then? You know, it's harder to be unkind and unpleasant and ugly to a person face to face, particularly if you say you're a child of the Most High. But when you're in your group or you with your tribe, you can talk some stuff and have the whole tribe laughing. But you know yourself, deep down, that wasn't right what I did. But I don't like them anyway, so it don't matter. Yes, it does matter. And you know it matters. Do we have enough integrity in front of your tribe to go back to them and say, I was wrong? I'm not doing that. What will people think? Yeah. Thank you. Listen to this. A person's own folly is what ruins his way, but he rages in his heart against Yah. You know, and most of us, we don't think about that. We don't think about it. In fact, we don't look at it that way. A person's own folly is what ruins his way. In fact, some of us, we got friends that you can barely tell them anything because why? This is my life. Mind your own business. Okay. All right. But then when you say, well, look, man, I mean, the bill will come due. And the bill not just going to come due for you, the bill come due for everybody. And it usually comes at a time that we don't have the money to pay it. But you know, if you're a real friend, you ought to be able to check a friend. A real friend should be able to check a friend, even if they don't want to hear it. If you're real friends. Now, if you're fair weather friends, and again, nothing wrong with fair weather friends. There's nothing wrong with them. But a real friend may not agree with you. And you might think you're right as rain. Stylistics. That went right. Boy, y'all slow. So, I told y'all, let's stop being plastic now. That's a group for those of you that don't know. Wow. You know, well, no, I better not say that because I'm in church. That's what I say, sis. Be real. All right. A person's own folly is what ruins his way. And I got a buddy closer than a brother. And every time he make a decision and it blow up, somehow it's my fault. And, you know, hey, here's some free advice. You do what you want with it. If you went in business with somebody and it didn't work out, if you married somebody and it didn't work out, don't run them down. Do you know why? Because after you get through running them down, all the person that sat there and listened to all that garbage, you went into business with them. Didn't you marry them? Then what does that make you? Something to think about. Something to think about. Which goes back to, again, watch what you say about people. Now, I know some of us got tricked. I know that. Well aware. But even then, still, I used to tell all my buddies, the only way you can claim you were innocent, and I'm in church, so I'm going to say it a certain way. If she would have had to pull out a gun and tell you use it or lose it. Other than that, that's on you. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Because we spend a lot of time complaining. And I'm like, well, did they draw a gun on you? Did they have a knife? Did they threaten you? That if things didn't go down a certain way? Stop your complaining. Stop it. Listen, there are some unresolved issues. And this situation that's going on, it's forcing a lot of people that normally don't spend a lot of time together. You done had plenty of time to spend together, and some topics should have come up by now. I don't know whether they have or not. But everybody's been given an opportunity to not only rediscover who you are, but rediscover who you spend a lot of time with. And some of us might need to clean house. I don't know. It comes back to being real. I didn't say be ugly. I didn't say be unkind. If, above all, folks, particularly if you're a church person, please, let's just be decent. If you can't do nothing else, just be decent. Just start there. Just be decent. Because more stress is coming. More stress is coming. Listen to this one. Because I had somebody say that, I'm not wealthy, but it says, wealth brings in many friends, but the poor man loses the one friend he has. That's another one of those scriptures that, you know, the poor get a bad rap. And I'm wondering, where is this coming from? See, I want to get behind the words on the page, because there's something behind that. There's more going on than just what was written in these pages. A lot more that we are only, this is just a snapshot. Because there was a whole lot more conversation going on in each one of the passages, in each one of the scriptures. A lot more that would help our understanding and maybe help us more in walking this out in our lives. And it was written a certain way. And yeah, now I know a lot of you, oh, it's the divinely inspired word of God. You know, I know a lot of people are like that. And that's all right. Hey, particularly here, this America, you can believe however you want to believe. Or not. But I tell you, something's up, folks. Something's up. A false witness will not go unpunished. Whoever breathes out lies will not escape. Many ask favors of a generous person. To a giver of gifts, everyone is a friend. And I had somebody say, they asked me, said, well, do you think people like you for you? Or do you think people like you because you will help a person, whether you like them or not? And I said, I don't really know. I thought that was a strange question to ask. And they weren't asking being nice. They were trying to take a swipe at me. Basically, they were trying to call me a sucker, is what they were trying to say. I didn't fight. I wanted to, though. But, well, I just didn't want to suffer the consequences. And I don't mean the consequences that he would have got the better of me. I would have got the better of him. I just didn't want to have to deal with the man. But why are we in an atmosphere of contention? Even when you try to do something good, somebody got something bad to say about it. They want to say you got an ulterior motive. How about there was a need? We could take care of it. We took care of it. Don't read any more into it than that. And that's to the receiver too. No, don't start thinking, oh, this must, it don't mean, no, you had a need, the need got met, that's it. Don't start that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Just same thing with a compliment. A compliment is just that. Receive it, keep it moving. Well, what did he mean by that? Let me break it down. No, just take it and go. That might be the last compliment you get. I mean, we're so... we make too much of just simple matters. You can't even be nice or kind without somebody thinking, no, it was just an act of kindness. That's it. Now you go do the same. Don't start reading. No, it don't mean that. Well, I had a dream you ate some pizza. Let's stop the foolishness. And this is another one. I'm going to say I have issue with this next one. It says, a poor man's relatives all hate him. No, they don't. Now, I know, boy, you sitting up here, you arguing with the Bible? No, I'm arguing with those words that are on that page. A poor man's relatives all hate him. Even more, his friends stay away from him. He may pursue them with entreaties, but they aren't there to be found. Well, is it possible that a giver of gifts, when they no longer are giving gifts, could find themselves in the same predicament? That's possible. And he's not poor. Or she's not poor. This week's been a rough week for me. My car that I loved needs service E. I called the mechanic and said, what's service E? Oh, that means everything got to be checked. My truck went in to get a sticker. They've had it for 2 weeks. So I'm riding in a friend's car, female. For those of you that say, he don't like women. That's not true. But I tell you, and there's a passage in there, I paid a price. I went to call one of my, Bob, y'all know Bob that cut the grass and stuff. And I said, Bob, man, I got some projects coming up, man. I got to get this money, man. Can I use your truck? Because this car, I can't carry this heavy equipment I got in here to get this thing done. Bob said, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. That was Monday. Called him Tuesday to make sure everything was all right. Bob's in the emergency room. I said, well, wait a minute, Father, now, you both my cars down. I'm using her car. It's driving me crazy because now I got to drive them where they want to go. And I'm getting the earful because she always talk like I'm against ladies too. I'm like, no, you just don't understand. And I said, well, then I was talking to you and you said you were at the shop with your car. I said, well, wait a minute. Why are you blocking all my avenues? I said, the last time something like this happened, something really bad happened to me financially, and I can't take that right now. Not with what you got coming down the pipe. I get a call from the oldest client that I have. We want to meet with you. This all happened last week, this past week. I said, okay, I'll be there at 10 o'clock. And I'm talking to Arthur on the phone, my brother. And he said, well, I wonder what that's all about. I said, I don't know, man. I said, but with the week I've been having, it can't be good. I get in there, And the guy that I normally, my contact, he the one set up the meeting, but another guy came out. I never saw this guy, and he introduced himself, and he said he had only been with the company 10 days. I'm like, okay. So we went into the production manager's office, and when I walked in, he said, I didn't know you were the owner. I said, yeah. And he was quiet, because he and I, we had good rapport. But I mean, I'm just in there, I'm going to empty his trash and vacuum his carpet and dust his desk down, and that's what my contract is for. This guy that's been there 10 days starts telling me all of what my crew hadn't been doing. I said, man, you've been here all the 10 days. I didn't say that. I'm thinking that as I'm sitting there smiling, being just as fake, because I learned how to be fake in business. Got my pad out, writing down like I really care. And I said, oh boy, this ain't gonna go well. I said, okay, here's this new guy. He comes in, he's gonna change everything. And of course, I let him say what he had to say. And then he said, and by the way, how much you gonna charge me to get my floor straight? Because my floor just looks awful. He cut his hand or something, that kind of made me happy. But he was doing something. He cut his hand and he was showing me, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like I'm concerned. He said, well, how much you gonna charge me? And I just looked him straight in his face and I said, sir, nothing. So then the guy that is the production manager, he says, well, look, what will you charge us to broaden the scope of your cleaning? Then that put a smile on my face, because I thought they was in there to give me the boot, because they could have done that over the phone. That's what made me mad, because it's out in Prince George, So make a long story short, what I thought was going to be a bad meeting, I'm getting ready to hit him in the head. I'm going to be fair, but I'm going to make it worth my time. Then I get home, and there's a check that I've been waiting on. And so things are starting to look up and percolate. So I'm thinking, well, Most High, maybe you ain't but so mad at me, but listen, I thought we had an agreement. Of course, that was one of those agreements where guess who did all the talking? He never said whether he agreed with it or not. He just kind of let me live. Folks, we need wisdom more than anything else right now. In these coming years, few years, 2 to 3. If you're going to spend money, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but if you're going to spend money, please get some value for it. Please. Please use wisdom in all that you do. Please. You're going to need it. And a lot of it is right in here, right in here, right in here. It's very important as to when you spend your funds. Because all the extra help, y'all, that's dried up now. If you're renting, I hope you were current, because if you weren't, those landlords are sticking it to people now, and they don't care. They want 3 years of your employment record for 3 years, and they're going up like 20, 30, 40%. And they're telling you, take it, leave it, or get out. Because you got to remember now, for almost 2 years, they had to not get paid. And a lot of them have gone out of business because they were using the rent to pay the mortgage on the places that they were buying. See, the government was trying to help, but they didn't go far enough. All they had to do was say, well, okay, since the renters don't have to pay rent, now mortgage companies, everybody that's got a mortgage, y'all have to give them grace. That would have helped the landlords. But landlords got a terrible attitude right now, and I kind of can't blame them. Those of you that are waiting to get a job, get off your behind and go get one. I'm serious. You're going to need some income. You're going to need your own income. Let me say this again because I don't want you to misunderstand. You're going to need your own money. Okay. All right. Oh, boy. A poor man's relatives all hate him, and even more, his friends stay away from him. He may pursue them with entreaties, but they aren't there to be found. I love this one. To acquire good sense is to love oneself. Let me read that again. I just like hearing that in Emmanuel Worship Center. I love that word, good sense. To say good sense to church people just brings joy to my heart. In fact, I want to throw in a word, good common sense. Good earthly common sense. Some of us are lacking, and it has caused us a problem. And even what we call common sense come from the Most High. We borrow everything from him. We're the ones that come up with this sacred and secular, sacred and secular. Did anybody ever ask him what he thought about it? Or did some group of guys just get together? Well, this is what, don't do this. Don't do that. If you do this, that. Did anybody check with the manufacturer? In fact, a lot of stuff, I don't think they check with the manufacturer. I think they just got together and said, seems good to us, put it down there. And we just go in lockstep. Anybody remember the Nicene Creed? Any of y'all know where that come from? You don't have to answer, I'm just saying. Did that come from the Most High? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not asking you to answer. I'm telling you folks, we better wake up and stop just taking stuff. Oh, good stuff, good stuff. You better check the ingredients. And check who's preparing the food you eating. I mean that. To acquire good sense is to love oneself. To treasure discernment is to prosper. Stop going crazy with discernment. I didn't say stop practicing discernment. I said stop going way out in left field with discernment. For some of us, the more far out, the more we gravitate to it. There's a time and a place that's being prepared for you. Right now, you're here on earth. Deal with it. You're on earth. Deal with it. Stop trying to escape. There's work to be done here. Why are you trying to retire? There's work to be done. And that's work you can do whether you work a job or not. That's the kind of work I'm talking about. We've taken a lot of things out of context, and we've gotten some far out beliefs and stuff all mixed up, and some of us are still suffering as a result of somebody's far out prophecy or discernment or lack thereof. To treasure discernment is to prosper, to prosper, to prosper, and not just financially, but socially. Oh, socially? Yeah. Did you know that it's a gift to be able to work with people, to be able to help them overcome a situation, to diffuse a situation before it gets out of control? That's a gift. But if your head is always in some ethereal place, you ain't helping nobody. You daydreaming. And while you daydreaming, your house might be getting robbed, or your tires getting flat, or your bank is messing with your account. Hello? Somebody got your credit card because you up in the third heavens, and they down at Macy's on earth using your credit card. When you get back, Macy's gonna send you that bill. Well, when was I in Macy's? Somebody was in Macy's or any store. Just pick one. Folks, we've got to be more aware of what's happening around us and stop change your way of living. I'm not telling you to start sinning. I said change your way of living. Things that you don't think are that important, give it 10 minutes. 10 minutes out of a week. Stuff that you think is boring, get into it. Start asking some questions. If you got a person that's helped you with your insurance or your whatever, call them up and start. So, man, what kind of, I had my auto insurance with you for, yes, call them up and ask them some questions. Why is my deductible what it is? Why am I paying what? Start asking questions about these kind of things. Stop just paying it. Well, I don't have time for those mundane things. Yes, you do. You ain't got time for nothing else but that. You just got your values in the wrong place. How many of you have looked up your retirement situation? Any of you dust that thing off? I mean, you get a statement every year or something. You need to read that. And if you don't understand it, call the company. Ask some questions. Stop just, it's going to be all right. Yeah, it will by and by, but we're in the what? Nasty now and now. Wake up. No, I'm not fussing. I'm just concerned. I really am concerned. Because a lot of good people are going to get hit in the head with a 2x4. And I just want you to see it coming so you can at least duck. And not duck so somebody else can get hit. Holler, timber coming. Everybody duck. For too long, the average person has gotten their clock clean and never saw it coming. And I'm tired of it. And I'm not just going to save my own neck. I'm going to save how many ever I can. And all I can do is tell you. Now, you can tell me, Barry, you're all wet, you get on my nerves, sit down and shut up. I will when my time run out. And folks, again, for those that like to change the narrative, I am not spreading fear. I'm just informing you of what's getting ready to happen. Because if I'm not, this next thing will take care of it. It says, a false witness will not go unpunished. So if I'm lying to y'all, something coming for me, got my name on it. Whoever breathes out lies will perish. Brings us back to the internet. And again, I'm not against it, but saints, be careful. Some of us are glued to, we don't watch nobody but so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't want to call no names because I might offend somebody. So-and-so and so-and-so, this place, that place. And man, you know, I think, I wish we could fact check everybody, not just the politicians. I would like to fact check the church. I would. I would love to fact check some of these testimonies that go on up in here. Can you imagine how those things would change? Oh, the heavens opened and listen to this. It isn't fitting for a fool to live in luxury, and even less for a slave to govern princes. See, when I see words like that, I'm like, why did they put that in there? Most of us, we just read it and just go on. Why did you pick that word? Who wrote that? They say mostly Solomon is supposedly attributed to having written a lot of, supposedly. Now, some of these scholars, you know, we need to start checking some of them too. I'm not being disrespectful. When I told you that I started researching the researchers, I meant that. You know, I've stopped just taking stuff because Pastor so-and-so recommend this. I'm like, man, folks, we better wake up. We better wake up. If what they're giving out is solid, it can stand scrutiny. Okay? If it's true, it can stand scrutiny. Remember, it's your life on the line. It's my life on the line. Here's another one. I think of my dad when I hear this one. It says, people, and I say that because he is. It said people with good sense, I guess he uses sometimes, are slow to anger. Now, he is slow to anger. He is real slow to anger. But right here it said people with good sense are slow to anger. So what does that make me? Oh boy. People with good sense are slow to anger. And it is their glory to overlook an offense. Now, I wish I could do that better. I have progressed to where I don't want to get you back. But I don't forget. You know, everybody say, forgive and forget, forgive and forget. I'll forgive, but I ain't gonna forget because you might come back. And the next time you come back, I'll be ready. Mm. 1 minute. I'll stop there. I'll stop there. Folks, I treasure the opportunity that I've been given to come before you. And I'm not fussing. I care about every one of you, whether I know you or not. I mean that. The everyday average person has got to use wisdom, because people, even though well-meaning people, they can make mistakes too now. People in government, people in whatever, you know, in churches, they can make mistakes. So you gotta look out to some degree for yourself now. Stop relying on, oh, well, my pastor's studying. Yeah, he's studying for him, or she's studying for her. What about you? Stop relying on that. That's got us in the shape we're in now. I'm serious, guys. I'm serious. It'll help us. It'll help us in the coming days and years. Pastor, will you come? God bless you.